Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I got this look right here. This is basically my dewy foundation routine, even though I have oily skin. I like to wear this like in the summertime, just because like my natural oils peek through and it makes the look even more natural or better. I have a new little setup. It's just for this video, just because I didn't feel like moving all of my products behind me. But if you guys like this for talk throughs and tutorials just where I'm doing my makeup, then let me know in the comments below. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get on into the video, and I'll see you guys at the end. So first off, I'm gonna prime. I'm gonna be using this Tarte Poreless Clean Slate primer. I use this in my Valentine's Day video, but it's basically just a silicone primer that's gonna help fill in pores. Okay, so next primer is gonna be the Urban Decay De-Slick, and this is just a mattifying primer. And I just take a little bit, just like that, because I don't really need a bunch, because I'm only going to put it on the areas that I get really oily. And this is essential to the whole dewiness of it. I only want to control oils that are really going to break down my makeup, and that is really in the center of my face, like right in the middle of my forehead, right on my nose. So I'm just patting that into there very lightly. And I'm not really going to use a primer anywhere else because it's really just not necessary. So for my foundation, I'm going to be using the Lancome Teint Idole 24-hour makeup, and I'm going to be mixing in some CoverFX. Look at the packaging, it is so worn down. I'm going to be using the CoverFX custom enhancer drops, and this is in the shade Candlelight. So what I'm going to do is just take like 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna take like 1 drop of this, and then I'm gonna use a brush. This is a Morphe E6, and pick it up and put it on. I like to press it into the skin, and then I'll go in and blend it better. And I'm just adding more coverage to the areas where I have dark spots. And I'm not really gonna put a lot on my nose area because that is where I get really oily. And we're gonna highlight there, so we don't want to put too much product. So now that our base is done, let's go in and highlight. Today I'm going to be using NARS Creamy Radiance Concealer, Radiant Creamy Concealer, sorry, in the color Caramel. This is like a pretty light highlight for me, but I like that look. If not, you can go down in the shade to Amande. Another alternative that I like for this is using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. And so I'm gonna use a damp beauty blender just to blend this out. I'm gonna start with my forehead, my chin, and I'm gonna blend out my under eyes last because I have really creasy, I have like a big crease under my eye, and if I don't set it immediately, then it will not set right. Just using a very light hand. I make sure to not drag my concealer all the way down to the tip of my nose because it gets the most oily right in here. So I just use the excess to drag that down to create the effect, but I'm not putting as much product down there. So now I'm just going over all those edges and trying to make sure that everything is blended nicely. I'm not going to contour for this look because I want this to be more bronzy. So I am just going to bronze. And now I'm just going to use some Sacha Buttercup powder, tapped a little bit into the top, and just going to roll my beauty blender into it and blow off the excess so it's the even amount of coverage. And I'm going to work from outside in to put that in. And I'm trying to put a very light layer because I'm going to try and put most of this into the skin instead of baking, because we don't want to look cakey under there. Just going to do a little bit where I highlighted on my nose, and going in with the opposite side to press it into the skin. And this is really going to help once we spray all of our finishing sprays and highlight, because we don't want anything to look powdery. So now that that's there, I usually go into my eyebrows, so I'm going to go ahead and do those off camera, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. So next thing that I'm going to do is bronze my face. I'm using the Guerlain bronzer in Terracotta, and I'm just going to take a nice fluffy brush and go into this lightly and just get the sides of my faces. I'm going with really broad strokes because I want the whole area to be warmed up. So you see the difference on this side versus this side? No. I rub it in. It's slightly defining my face, but without that harshness of a contour. Going around the perimeter of my head, on the outskirts of that highlight. Make that forehead look snatched. And then just down here, just to make everything even. And you can really go in with this if your foundation doesn't match your body. Like in the summertime, I know sometimes it takes me a minute to get around to purchasing my summer shades for some things, so just taking a bronzer down your neck a little bit will help with that. Next, I'm going to slightly contour my nose using my Old Faithful MAC Uninterrupted eyeshadow. I don't even know if they sell this anymore, but I'm just taking a little pointy brush and gently going down the sides. And I like to go right across the top to make a little upturned little nosy. Okay, so now for our glow, we're going to do a couple of things to get a nice dewiness. First, we're going to go back in with the Candlelight. I'm just going to put one drop on the back of my hand. Just literally like that much, because the stuff is so pigmented. And I'm going to use another beauty blender that I didn't use that doesn't have the powder on it. And I'm just going to pick that up and dab some of it off. And then I'm going to put that on the high points of my cheek, where you would normally apply your highlight. And I'm going to be taking that up over here, like above my eyebrow. That on our nose a tiny bit. Just a little bit. We don't want to go overboard with not dry products on our oily areas. Some all over this area, because that's where sweat, you know, your glisten would normally build up, like right above your lip. And just a dab on my chin. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to go in with the butt of the beauty blender, and so it's a softer effect. And then what's really scary is I'm going to put some of this on the center of my forehead. So I'm taking whatever's left on the back of my hand and kind of getting it into the beauty blender, and then I'm just going to stamp it in where I highlighted my forehead. Can you see that? It's very subtle, but it's gonna help when we put on our powder highlight, you know. And if you're really oily, you can stop right here, because as your oils come through throughout the day, it's going to look more natural, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you guys how to really pack it on for that like initial look. So we're done with that. So now we're going to take our actual highlighter of choice. I'm going to be using the shade Prosecco Pop by Becca, and I'm going to be taking a brush like this. This is the A23 by Anastasia, and I'm just going all into there, tapping off the excess, and then I'm going to spray my brush. I'm not going to use Fix Plus. I'm just going to use this little setting spray or facial spray by Mario Badisco. Anyway, it's just going to wet the brush. I'm going to let that dry down a little bit. And then I'm going to put that right on top of where we put that other one. Make sure you're really getting that C shape and going right above your brow, just like that. And now, to be even more extra, I'm going to take a smaller highlighting brush. This is a Morphe M532. I actually think this would be a really good eyeshadow brush, but I use it for precision highlighting. And I'm going to take the shade. I'm going to take the shade Illuminati by Artist Couture. And I'm just going to swirl this around on my brush. Spray it again. And it's really important with the Artist Couture shades to spray your brush, because since they are so sparkly, they need something to make them stick to your skin. So I'm just going to wait for that to dry. You don't want to put this on right when it's wet because it might get streaky. So right where the light is hitting me right there, that's where I'm going to put this shadow on. A little bit. I'm gonna put this one on my nose. Whatever's left in the cap, I'm just swirling it around, spraying it a little bit. I'm going to set my face with some Fix Plus spray, and then I'm going to spray it with the Urban Decay All Nighter so this can actually last. So I'm gonna go do that. And I'm spraying a lot because I really want all the powders that I use, even though I didn't use a lot, to sink into the skin and make it just look as one, especially because we use like 3 different highlighters. So I'm gonna let this fully dry, and then I'm gonna spray the Urban Decay All Nighter. I'm just taking a little bit of the All Nighter. This does have alcohol in it, so I don't want to spray too much, but I do want to ensure that this can actually last throughout the day. So now I'm just gonna add some lipstick and we'll get on out of here. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!